My name's Kaz and I'm the other half of Everyday Property Investing with Den, and my background has been in a variety of areas. I initially started out following university. I was a nurse and I travelled the world and worked overseas for some years as an intensive care nurse. I then decided to study IT, and I've been working in IT for about probably 8 or 9 years as a software development project manager. I work part-time. I look after my small child who is just turned 3 years old, and he keeps us very busy. And it's only really been the last, probably just after he was born actually, but 3 years that I've been investing in property, and I'm very much trying to make up for lost time. So I'm a pretty new investor, but very keen on increasing my knowledge and increasing my portfolio in a short amount of time. I'm very interested in becoming sort of the master of my own destiny and not being reliant upon external sources to look after me in my retirement. I would like my retirement to be in the very near future. So I'm looking pretty much for ways and means to generate income for myself that doesn't rely upon an employer. I want to be responsible for and independent financially. So that's what led me to investing. In terms of investing in property, I understand property and I find it an easier to understand investment vehicle than things like shares. Shares I find quite interesting, but I feel like I need to invest a lot more time in understanding them. Property's tangible. I love looking at properties on the internet, driving past them, potentially renovating them, and just taking a real active involvement in my investing, which is why I chose property. I started out with an investment strategy which was purely sort of buy and hold, and positive cash flow properties were what I was interested in, because having just a young family and being off on maternity leave and cutting down income and things like that, negative gearing or being out of pocket each month to support my investing, I thought might prove to be difficult, and therefore I was trying to look for a strategy where I would find it easy to maintain and also to keep purchasing, and that's why I chose positive cash flow properties. But now I think my strategy has been evolving as I evolve as an investor and I increase my knowledge, and I'm actually quite keen on trying a number of different things. Most recently I've been looking into renovation as a strategy and also into property development as a strategy. So I'm actually interested in a whole lot of things, and I tend to look at what is the next deal, how does this fit in. So right now I want to generate a lump sum cash profit so that I can fund a development deal, therefore I'll look for a property that suits that outcome. So my strategy is changing and growing as I grow. I've only been investing for around about 3 years. I did have an investment property some years ago, but I think it was more one of those accidental investments that you purchase a property because you kind of think it's a good idea, but then really don't know much about it, and I really didn't maximise its potential. So I've really taken a lot more care in understanding and increasing my knowledge only in the last sort of 3 years. So I've got properties. All of my properties are in Victoria at the moment, and are all houses. I like the concept of having land, and I haven't really got any units or apartments at the moment, not that I wouldn't be open to that, but at the moment it's just been purely house and land, and we're just looking to purchase our 4th and 5th properties currently. I think the perceived lack of knowledge is very difficult, and working out where to go to get investment advice. I remember going to a financial planner some years ago and letting them know that I was interested in property as a vehicle for investment, but they were very focused on the share market, and I didn't really know where I could go to get good property investing advice that wasn't from someone who was actually trying to sell me a property at the time. So trying to get independent advice that was sort of focused on the best outcomes for me rather than the best outcomes for somebody else. So I think, finding who can you trust and who's telling you information that's beneficial to you versus just beneficial to themselves. So where to get the knowledge from. There's a lot of knowledge out there. There's, you know, the internet, books, magazines, just investment companies, and just knowing which ones to trust and how to make sense of it all, I think, was one of the hardest things. In the end, I think it became a leap of faith in myself, and just, I think there's a turning point, there's a shift in your mind somewhere when you realise that the only person who's really that interested in your best interests is you. And so you need to step up and go, you know, I was waiting for the one person or the one thing that could say, this is what you need to do. And there was really no one out there who can say, this is what you need to do, it's best for you, other than you. So there comes a point when you have to go, okay, well, I've got that information, I believe I understand that, I've sought a few opinions from some professional sources, and now I'm going to set my own path and start moving on it. So a little bit of, you just need to take, at some point in time, you need to understand that you know what you know and you need to just act. So I would definitely start earlier, and every interview in a magazine that I read, for every, property investing magazine, and when they ask people what they wish they had have done, it's always they wish they had have started earlier. And I'm one of those people as well who wish I'd have started earlier. I think that, getting started late shouldn't be a reason not to get started though. So there's a lot of people, very successful people, who didn't start until later in life. But if you get started now, that's probably the best time.